Hello, glorious souls. Welcome to your Soul Service Astrology update for the 24th of October, 2022. I am Kel. I'm a 13-sign sidereal astrologer. What does that mean? If you've not encountered it before, it means the way that I refer to the planets will be exactly the same as to the way you can see the planets in our night sky. And I think that's really important for us to start observing our sky again. And that's us observing our environment. That's us connecting to our environment. Many cultures have done this and still do this. And I think for Westerners, we need to do this to come back into connection with our environment so that then we can start to change our environment because we have made a bit of a mess of it and we can start to change ourselves. Let's dive into this week. I'm going to share my screen. There we go. That's Monday, the 24th of October, right before the solar eclipse, partial solar eclipse, and new moon in Virgo. So Monday the 24th, we still have a balsamic moon in Virgo. So that's the mystic moon. You may still be feeling into what is releasing, what is shedding, so that you're stepping into what it is that you're going to be intending and the changes that you're going to be intending coming in. Now, if you're in the Southern Hemisphere, it might be changes for growth and renewal. If you're in the Northern Hemisphere, it might be changes of rotting, decay, compost, and eliminating, releasing, and letting go under the balsamic moon right before the new moon. However, on Monday, the main aspect that is happening is Saturn in Capricorn is going direct. So Saturn has been going retrograde in Capricorn for several months. Capricorn has the energetic quality of the leader, but also I link it to the energetic quality of the magician. If you read tarot, I'm a novice tarot reader, but the archetypes in tarot, the magician or the magus, is that really wise mentor, seer type quality. It's not just using frivolous information, it's using really consolidated, wise information, methodologies to lead, to bring about really substantial quality changes. Like you can hear all the information there is like a really good leader would have all these qualities. And there's a benevolence there that they lead to bring others with them and to share the wisdom so that we can all change together. It's not just for the ego self. Now, of course, there is shadow side to Saturn, where all of that, they're trying to keep all the knowledge, all the wisdom for themselves, and they want to be put on a pedestal. And of course, that's shadow Saturn, and maybe some of that's coming up for you, and you can look at that as well. Or do you want to be benevolent, share this information, share your methodologies, share your wisdom, consolidate it down so it's supportive for you and for others? Now, it's been going retrograde, so perhaps there's been a bit of a review going on in relation to what are your methodologies, what is your wisdom. Now, if you have a career, perhaps there's certain expertise that you have there, or if you have a business, perhaps again there's certain methodologies and expertise there, and maybe you've been reviewing it, and now is the time where you can make decisions. It's a great opportunity to decide. Now, probably not everyone will agree with what I'm about to say. However, I think it's very much a Saturn in Capricorn statement. There are no bad decisions, just indecision. So with the retrograde period that's been gone, now that doesn't imply that you need to make reckless, fast decisions, certainly not with Saturn in Capricorn. However, the time for sitting in that nebulous state of indecision, can you ask yourself whether the time is now that I can put that down and make a decision? Maybe the answer is no, and maybe the answer is yes. There are no right or wrong answers here. So feel into that for you as Saturn starts to now progress forward. We'll have a couple of months before Saturn will step into Aquarius. So over that period, when Saturn continues to move through Capricorn after we've done our review and we've consolidated, and then we'll move into Aquarius next year, that will be a really great period for inspiration. The inspiring leader to be the rebellious leader, but Saturn wants to be founded on a great foundation of wisdom and knowledge, not bullshit. So now is the time to make sure that what your leadership looks like is not founded on bullshit. That's pretty clear. All right, so let's move to the 25th of October. The 25th of October is a partial solar eclipse and a new moon in Virgo. So typically when we have a new moon, it's a great time to set new intentions. And that's just an opportunity for you to set new intentions. In Virgo, we had the last lunar moon was in Virgo as well, preparing us for this. So can you do a review? What came up for you in relation to your skills, your knowledge, how you work, your service, how you serve yourself, and perhaps how you serve others? What changes need to occur? And the reason I say what changes need to occur is because it's the threshold into the eclipse month. So now, if you are willing to accept it and listen to your intuition, however your intuition is showing up for you, you could see it, hear it, feel it, or know it. The body is a really awesome vessel for telling you when things need to change. And the reason why I suggest the body might be really important at this point in time is the moon can represent the body. The moon is pulling on our waters, and Venus also represents our body. So feel the feelings that are coming up for you. What needs to change? It might feel quite volcanic. It might feel very Vesuvian because Venus is a very hot, boiling hot planet where things just vaporize instantly. So what changes do you intend to make in relation to your skills, your service, how your wellness and your health, how you show up for yourself first, because we can't serve from an empty bucket, and how you want to show up for others. Now, some of those themes may have come up for you in the past month. Now is the time to intend to make the changes. Now you can see there's quite a lot of Virgo energy down here. We've got Venus, we've got Mercury, Moon, and Sun all together. So the body gets on board, the mind can get on board, our intuition gets on board, our creativity and our expression and our authenticity gets on board. It's time to shed another layer in Anna as Venus is behind the sun. We can't see her at the moment, so there may feel like there is a shedding happening here during this new moon period, during this eclipse season, so that we can change. I've always described eclipse seasons like jumping tracks. Now, if you are paying attention, and I mean paying attention to the subtle energies, then it may not feel quite so jumping track-like situation. It might feel a little bit, you might know it's coming, you might know what you need to change, and you're ready to start taking small steps. Now, in Virgo, small steps still count when we're moving towards changes. However, if we have been ignoring our body and our system and our health and our wellness, and we've been ignoring that the fact that we might be overgiving, or perhaps we're hoarding, you might feel a huge kick up the arse. Now, I also say that there is an element of feeling into congruence here. Venus is involved with this new moon. So feel into where you're not feeling congruent. When I say congruent, it's that feeling of, oh, I'm not being the demonstration of my values. And it's as simple as that. And I know for myself, I'm always questioning that. Am I taking too much? And am I really being the demonstration of my values? And that's like a Virgo really wants that. as well. Virgo energy really wants that to be the demonstration, to be seen as helpful. And we can do that through how we live in our demonstration. And of course, you can have all the joy and fun in that as well. I'm not saying that this needs to be a hard process. Typically, however, humans will only shift and move when there is a degree of discomfort. So you may feel discomfort over the next month as we step into eclipse season. But I always say to people in relation to significant changes in our life, when you look back on it in hindsight, you'll always go, actually, I'm glad that happened. Even though it may have been shit, right? Even though it may have been a pile of poop, it's always better that it had happened and that you shifted and changed. And what I would like to also say is that we are capable of change. If you don't think you're capable of change, I know you're capable of change. All right, so that's the new moon. And that energy, you can vibe into that energy on Tuesday, Wednesday, and for the rest of the week, because the new moon hangs around until the weekend. But then the next main aspect that comes up is Thursday, the 27th of October, and it's Mars trine Mercury. Mars is really direct energy focused on our values and making sure that we're leading the life that we desire to lead, but that we're also not taking too much from the environment. And you can hear in what I'm saying, I hope, that there's a lot of earth energy around, that there is a time now that we need to be looking, and it's not just individualistic now. We're having our second lunar month in Virgo. The first lunar month in Virgo was to look at ourselves. Now, the second lunar month is to look at how we are in the world. Are we taking too much? Where are we directing our energy? Where are we consuming? Where can we change? Now, the Mars trine Mercury is actually really ease and flow. So perhaps there's some things that you're wanting to put down. Perhaps there's some things that you're wanting to start focusing on now, and you're trying to get your mind and your energy and your will on board. And it's easy. So I kind of feel like that energy timed with the new moon energy and the eclipse energy is what I'm suggesting to you is if you want to make changes in relation to your lifestyle, your vitality and your energy and your congruence with your values and how you interrelate with the seasons and the element and earth, it's easy for you. And you can put down those mental blocks that you have to change easily. What if we suggested that it's easy to do that? Can you embrace the ease in doing that? So that's Thursday, the 27th. The 28th, we still have the square energy to Mercury. So having said what I just said, is it easy for you? Could you embrace ease in putting down some of the ways that you have been living? Perhaps there is materialistic aspects in your lifestyle that you can put down. Perhaps there's ways that you have been taking too much from the earth. Perhaps there's ways that you've been expending too much energy. You've been burning yourself out. Can you put those down easily? Now, of course, if you can't, the destroyer can come in, destructive energy, quite uncontrollably, and take them away from you. And again, what I would say with Pluto energy, when it does come in and do that and really knocks you for six, and you might feel really rattled, embrace it, because that's what happens in our environment. And it's happening more and more often in our environment, where we're having really big events, storms, temperature, weather, the elements, because of what we've created. So if we want to change, our environment, we do also have to change. So while some of that collective may be out of your control and you may be feeling it, I would encourage you to embrace ease and put down the mental pressure, because I think Mercury and Virgo energy can sometimes put a lot of pressure on themselves to try and control everything. and not everything is within your control. So embrace that letting go and that putting down things that are beyond your control, and maybe taking some things off your to-do list. That would be a really great thing for a Virgo to do. Take things off your to-do list. The question you can ask yourself, what is the worst thing to happen if I don't do that? Let's move into the weekend. So the weekend really is flavoured on Sunday, the 30th of October, by Mercury going retrograde. Now, Mercury doesn't every year go retrograde, but when Mercury goes retrograde, it goes retrograde for a long period of time. So it's going to go retrograde until January. And if you have been following me for the last few months, I did mention that Mars is going to hang around for a long time in Taurus, which is why the theme of what I've been talking about for quite some time is that we are examining our lifestyles. We are examining where we're directing our physical energy, but we're also examining where we're directing our collective energy and to the lifestyle. And I'm talking, of course, to Western white people, because that is my experience. And during this Mars retrograde period, perhaps some more veils will be released and relieved and pulled down so that you can see that actually consumption and consumerism and materialism is what is breaking and causing the collapse of our systems. So Taurus is very environmentally conscious. And I guess that's what I'm asking you to turn your lens to now, and to start to examine, where are you taking too much? But I don't want this to just be individualistic, because the time is now where it's not just, I don't want to say this is all your fault. This is a collective energy. It is time for us to rise up and to start to direct the required changes that are needed towards our government and towards our companies. Where are you sending your money? Those sorts of things. Where can you perhaps start to be more community minded? Those sorts of things are the things that I would encourage you to do. I'm not talking about, reducing your waste and making sure that you're taking your coffee cup to the cafe. No, I've moved on from that. Now is where am I directing my money? All of it. Who can I talk to about changing one thing? It doesn't have to be a big thing, just one little thing. And how can I start to be involved in my community? Because it will be communities that start to change things. Together, we change things. So starting to really examine our lifestyle, our energy consumption internally and externally, could be Mars retrograde. So I invite you to start stepping into that energy over the next couple of months. So that is the forecast for this past week, the 24th, or this next week. Stumbling over my words today. The 24th of October. And again, they're all invitations. I'm certainly not suggesting that this is going to happen to you. The way I want to be of high service. And I don't want you to cut off from your own intuitive intelligence or your own emotional intelligence or your own environmental intelligence. See, hear, feel, know first, and then listen to astrology as an archetypal energy that can support you if there are things that you want to change and step into, let go and release of. That's what astrology can really support you at doing, and stepping more into your intuitive, environmental and emotional intelligences. That's what astrology can help you do as an instrument, as a spiritual tool, really. So if you would like to dive deeper, please come and join me in ecoalchemy.org. That's my paid membership. There's 2 monthly sessions in there, and then there's additional celestial information that I put in there ahead of the week so that you can come back and refer to it. I would also really love it if you support the Soul Service Astrology 2023 planner. All the pre-sale money goes to pay my graphic designer, and then for printing, I'm not making any money out of this. I just actually want the planner myself. And of course, I would love for it to spread far and wide so that we are both planning our days, our weeks, and our months in accordance with the lunar calendar and the solar seasons and the actual planetary, where the planetary bodies actually are. And that's sidereal astrology. Also, don't forget to subscribe, and I will see you next week. If you have any questions or comments, I would love to hear from you. You can pop them down below. Have a glorious week, and I'll see you next week. Bye.